just make dollars, I don't make deals. I've been going hard in the paint, still blowing kush clouds till I can't feel like. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like. 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like. 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right?
Welcome, everyone. You're now listening to the Say It With Your Chest podcast. And it's Mr. Light Skin Keith Sweat, can't you tell? Don't like me, then go to hell. You won't grow if you don't fail. Shades low, can't you tell? Everybody wants to be like me, ooh. But nobody holds themselves accountably. Never mind. Hey, look, I love that little jingle by not Carlton Banks. But thank you to everyone for all of the love and support. I really do appreciate everything. Shout out to YouTube. Also, please continue to subscribe. Please share. Please leave any feedback. I appreciate all that. All of your comments are being read. It's not like it's that many, so it's very easy to do. But add more comments. Give me some feedback. I know a lot of y'all send me some stuff direct, but I need some more evidence. I need other people to see the engagement a little bit, okay? So for the few who are following, go say something positive, if you don't mind, on some of the videos that you like, okay? I really, really would appreciate that. Also, please buy some merch. Now we got the new hoodies. Not too much on me. A lot of y'all did not get them for gifts for others or for yourself for the holidays, okay? But they're still available. So a lot of people get gifts after the holiday. Now, to me, there's 365 days to pre-plan what you're going to get somebody. And I know I'll be waiting to the last minute a little bit too. But one thing I know is not necessarily allowed. Even though things happen, you really can't be giving stuff late. But not too much, okay? That's why you get you a hoodie to say not too much already. I'm already Mr. Not Too Much, but please check out the merch. Also, don't forget we have the playlist, hip hop and R&B on Tidal. We have the slaps as well as the Love Up On Me playlist. Please subscribe to those playlists on Tidal. Definitely tune in. Check out the latest updates. I'm always adding new music to the playlist. Now, I just want to first start off by saying happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's to everyone who supports. Some of y'all don't support that. Happy Hanukkah. I don't know what else comes outside of Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa, maybe? Something like that, okay? But enjoy yourself. Treat yourself. Spend time with others if they treating you well. Now, don't be obligated. Don't give love to those who not giving love to you. But this is the time of the year where you want to be embracing love. You want to be embracing friendship, family, good times. Now, I do know a lot of people aren't in the best spirits right now. A lot of people, finances aren't the best. But also, a lot of people are sad due to maybe having some family members no longer with us. And everybody don't process death or grief very well. I know I'm not the best at it, although I know how to not necessarily let it affect me as much, but I definitely know a lot of people are remembering others right now. But to me, I believe people should be thinking positive of those who are no longer here. I just don't think that it's time to be sad all the time. There's always good and bad in every situation, and it's up to you to choose what you want to focus your attention on. I like to choose positivity and improvement. because I don't want to keep going through the same stuff I'm going through. I don't like feeling the same way I feel. So in order to make adjustments, you have to control what you can control. Now, some others are also missing a significant other in their life. Some people really want and desire to have a partner. Now, everybody don't know how to play their part within the partnership, but a lot of people are looking to partner with someone. No one really wants to be alone. That's why you see a lot of people who single be always with their family, always with their friend. No one. I don't care if you got a partner or not. No one really wants to be alone. Now, we will choose to be alone if we need to, but no one truly desires to be by themselves, in my opinion. And this is not the time to be sad about why things aren't where you wish they were at. To me, today should start off how your New Year's resolution should begin, because you should be trying to see how you want to make Christmas be better next year. And it starts by you doing some different things. How are you going to date better in order to make sure you got a partner that's going to be there and support it, so that you can wear them matching PJs and take them pictures and go to somebody else's house and deal with the in-laws or whatever you desire to do during the holiday. Now, again, a lot come with that. There's a lot of build up to Christmas. A lot of things got to go right before we get to December 25th. Now, for me, Christmas should not be about Santa Claus. Christmas should be about Jesus. Jesus should be the reason for the season. I know a lot of y'all see church as an issue, see some of the problems, see some of the bad things that maybe go on in select churches. Now, again, I already said there's good and bad in everything. It's just all in what you want to focus on. And are you contributing to helping things get better? Everybody can sit and critique, but nobody wants to help do the work to help things improve. And so for me, it's not just about Santa Claus. It's also about Jesus, as today is his birthday. So we're also celebrating Jesus on today's episode, okay? Now, I know a lot of people put a little more emphasis in gift giving during this time of the year. In my opinion, I think people put a little more emphasis on the gifts that they're hoping to receive versus the gifts that they are willing to give to others. I also have realized that I should just not worry about what they should get and just care about the thought, because that's what's supposed to count. But I do like to give gifts. I do like to give things from the heart, from the pockets that I choose, but also from the heart. And I've been shopping at Ross. I bought a lot of my gifts for other people from Ross. Now, I've been comparing these bargain stores over the last few months as I've been going, looking, mainly for myself, but just looking. As you know, you want to waste some time. You always want to treat yourself to make yourself feel a little bit better. And I'm tired of buying overpriced material things that don't always last as long as you would want, things that don't necessarily hold its value. So I'm looking for deals, I'm looking for sales, and I have a Ross close by, and I've been going a lot lately. Now, I don't usually like bargain stores. I don't like to search for things. I like to know what's going to be in there and purchase or not purchase. I don't like to waste my time. I'm not trying to be in the store longer than 10, 15 minutes, as I know what I'm looking for. See, you got to already go with a plan. Do you have a budget? Do you know who you may want to get something for? Me, I usually know it ain't that many people. So I'm already going in with a clear mind. I always know the budget. So we always know what our pocket's looking like. And if we see something for ourselves, maybe we have a little more wiggle room. But when we talking about for others, we set strong budgets unless things just happen to happen. But for the most part, we've been liking everything at Ross. However, I recently went to Ross one day and I told myself I didn't really want to go during the holidays. But on my way to the gym, I decided to stop by one evening. And I found an item that was a little too big for me, and I thought maybe I might re-gift it or just wear it oversized, as that's the new look these days, even though I don't chase the fashion trends, although I am the fashion trends. You see how we get down. You see, quarter zips been in. I know y'all don't really, do what you do. See, I do what I do. I stay with the bow tie. Now, if they bring back bow ties, you know they stole that from me. I ain't gonna hold you, because I don't be seeing that. It be me. And that's why I like to keep doing it, because people know that's me. I like to stand out. I like to differentiate myself from the rest. Although, like I told y'all last episode, a lot of people loving this quarter zip trend right now. The OGs and the YNs are definitely trying to step their game up a little bit, but just for the pie, just to let you know we got everything. We just wanted to show you a little love on this holiday. But I went to Ross and I found something that I thought was going to be great. And then I looked to the line and it was wrapped around the building. It was all over the place. They might have had about 30 people in line trying to buy last minute gifts. Now, mind you, this a week before Christmas. So I told myself, you know what, T? Let's go hide it somewhere real quick, and then maybe we come back. Nah, I told myself I was going to come back the next day. Well, guess what? It was not there. And I even went to a few more Ross locations to see if maybe they might have that item at their location. And they did. So I definitely took a small L, but at the end of the day, God be letting you know you didn't really need it, because that was a fact. I definitely don't need anything in terms of the clothing department, as I have bins full of stuff with tags on it that I still don't wear, that I'm waiting for the other stuff to be done with so I can incorporate some new items. But I'm hoping everybody got what they want. I'm hoping everybody had a great holiday. I'm hoping people were good to others. See, me and Noah was recently arguing about reciprocation. I was telling him I wanted to talk about being a simp. You know, I feel like a lot of guys are classified as simps these days. You know, to be honest, I didn't even know what that meant. I had to look it up. Let me tell you what it means. It means someone who shows excessive fawning, devotion, or attention to someone they're romantically interested in, often hoping for affection or favors in return, which may compromise one's own self-respect. Which basically means you giving more to those than they're giving to you. And I don't like doing that. I like equality. I like being fair. And it starts with my pockets. Now, I get it. Guys are supposed to spend money. They're supposed to provide. Now, I didn't think you were supposed to provide to everyone in the world or everyone you ever meet in the world. But they say protect and provide, I guess. I don't know. Hey, fellas, you better make sure you know the job description before you sign up for the job. I just want to let you know. You better know what they expecting from you. And better know if you're capable or not. Be honest with yourself, because I'm very honest with myself. I know my limitations. Just know I hold everybody, including myself, very accountable. Now, like I said, hey man, you gotta know, you got to do more than a lady. Keep that in mind going forward. Now, for me, I love Christmas music. I don't usually play Christmas music, but for me, the classics started in church. See, Jesus is the reason for the season now. Yes, he is. Oh, yes, he is. Oh, yes, he is now. See, I come from all that Kirk Franklin Christmas music, all the remixes to the Silent Nines. I like the church versions, the old school church versions. I don't know about all the new school versions, but I love going to church around the holidays. Now, I didn't go this year. I ain't gonna hold it. We've been very inconsistent. And I promise you, there was church on Christmas Eve or Christmas if you was looking. Don't just be waiting on Sunday. A lot of y'all only believe in going to church on Sunday. Sometimes, like myself, okay? I saw it wasn't a Sunday. I kind of wasn't thinking about church this Christmas, okay? Maybe I was not in the spirit for real. Now, I didn't show y'all all the Grinch outfits I have been wearing, but just know I've been in a different kind of spirit. They say I'm always in that spirit, though, as they continue to buy me more Grinch merch. But nonetheless, I like it. And I don't know if it's really allowed, as I get a lot of complaints about how I be acting sometimes, even though I'm never acting. I'm being myself. I'm treating those the way they treat me. But again, I do need to be back in church because that word helps keep you afloat. That word keeps you doing the right things. Now, of course, nothing and nowhere is perfect, the church included. But we need to be proud of the type of music we're hearing again. We need to generate some new energy, some more spirits. See, I like how people are coming together this time of year to reconcile. You know, you see a lot of people who go through things, but holidays make you say, I'm sorry. Holidays make you look within to see maybe how you contributed to whatever issues you may be going through. And sometimes people like to say, I'm sorry. People like to do things differently, do things to repair and mend relationships. Again, this is the season of rebuilding. This is the season of love. Now, everybody don't have the love in their heart that they need, but you have to start somewhere. You have to start with one person and then start with another person and then watch how it grows, but also watch how it changes who you are. Watch how you be different in different situations, because mentally you're just in a better spirit. Now, I've been seeing what 21 Savage been talking about. He say, F the streets. We don't rock with the streets no more, even though we come from the streets, even though the streets help get us to where we at. See, everybody don't know how to move forward. Again, your past is your past. You can't change that. See, everybody think they get to choose how they start. You don't. You got to pick up from wherever you at and you got to rebuild. And it is what it is. When you get older, you don't get to just keep complaining about what happened back in the day, what some other people didn't do right. You now have an opportunity to change the narrative, to do what you want to do for you, to make things be better. And I believe you can do that. And 21 Savage believed the same thing. Again, now I do think these guys are tired of going to jail. You see, they coming down with all these RICO cases. So you gotta be smart and be careful in what you're really looking at. Because everybody don't necessarily mean you well, and everybody not necessarily telling the truth. So again, why you being nosy? Why you paying attention? You see, everybody want to comment though. Every street guy had to weigh in on if they agree or not. And you had a lot that did. You had a few like Blueface, like Boosie. They don't agree. They are street guys. And how can you turn your back on something that helped you get where you got? And I understand some of that. But again, it's how you go about some things. Again, I like how people came out and clarified what that meant to them and why people should want to live more, want to do more right in their lives and not always act like they're still in the streets. How you still making millions, but you still acting like you're homeless, like you're still in the streets, but you're living in mansions and traveling all over the world. See, again, you got to change your mindset when you're experiencing new things. You got to appreciate the blessings. You can't keep going backwards. Can't keep looking at what the past was showing you when you already seeing what the future already bringing you. See, for me, I just wish we promoted more positivity. Prime example, Mr. Kevin Gates. Hey, bro, I love love. So I support you, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. One, you from Louisiana. Not my part, but it still kind of counts. It ain't Shreveport, so it kind of counts. But I want to know that I'm rocking with you, still moving forward and trying to find love. See, everybody wants you to be miserable after you break up with somebody. Everybody wants you to go ahead and be alone and be private, focus on building your money up, because that's what they be doing. Because they can't transition very well, because they don't know how to really separate what's for someone else versus what's for them. Now, I kind of like some of the things Kevin Gates doing, as I really don't know the whole story. So I'm minding my business and I'm thinking nobody else then came out and said nothing. So why should we be objecting to what we looking at? Like we know all the extra business. See, right there is why I stay in my lane. That's why I mind my business. But I can't help but see all the feedback. And Kevin Gates recently came out trying to talk about somebody who was already talking about him. And in the comments, all I could see was people saying he was being sassy. Hey, look, fellas, you are not allowed to communicate your feelings. I'm sorry. They just don't look at that as being a man. You could take this to the bank as I'm just like Kevin Gates. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm just like Kevin Gates in that. But I understand a little differently. But, you know, it is what it is. You got to know the game. You got to play the game accordingly to the results you want to receive. Kevin Gates seemed like he kind of happy. It seemed like he got a new wife. That's what he say. I don't know his paperwork, but he said he got him a new little lady. She seemed happy. Now, I told y'all previously she was a little young. Legal, but young. And I don't know. I'm a business owner. Age differential things like that. As I've been minding my business with the Kamora Lee and Russell Simmons situation, as this ain't new. They should have been talking about them way back when they first started. But nobody was saying nothing. And everybody wanted to be quiet because they didn't want to ruin any relationships. But how you gonna benefit and then say negative things later on? That's my only issue with people. People truly forget the good when something bad happens. Again, you could be upset, you could be mad, but you can't control your emotions a little bit. You can't find a way to know there's still limitations, there's still levels to responding or not responding. Sometimes it's cool to just walk away, but everybody don't respect that. Everybody not built the same. And Kamora Lee and Russell Simmons, hey, I don't know what y'all doing over there. Y'all wasn't protecting y'all daughter when she was messing with that old man. So I think y'all got a lot of other things to be focusing on. But Kamora Lee definitely told Russell that he need to worry about why he ain't in the States no more, why he can't come back, because he got all them cases he need to settle. So I don't know, but I'm pretty sure she might have was one of the first to be a part of that situation, but she ain't saying nothing as she was able to get a business. She was able to get kids. She was able to have a family. You know, sometimes people know it's wrong, but they see they still benefit. So it's not that bad. But for me, when you sign up for some things, you can't come back later talking about, I knew that it was like this. I knew you were doing some things. I just don't agree with how you go about doing what you be doing, Miss Kamora Lee. I'm sorry. Now I know we supposed to protect the ladies. I know I'm not supposed to be bashing y'all like Kevin Gates was bashing that lady, but I'm just saying in a respectful way that it's okay to be quiet. Now, I'm having to learn that myself, but I'm learning it. Like, I'm really working on my silent treatment these days. Not silent, but more so holding in how you feel for real. I'm not going to be silent ever, but I'm just going to keep some shit to myself and find other ways internally to just make myself feel better or get over it. Like, sometimes that's kind of what you got to do. As Noah been telling me that for a long time, and I don't agree. I don't see him do well in that situation, but that's the message he be preaching. And you know, it's a few other ones who be saying some of the same stuff too. Jamie and B. Terry. You know what I mean? All my friends really be saying a lot of the same thing. First off, shout out to y'all. Happy holidays. I won't be direct today. Happy holidays to all my friends, all my family members who listen to the pod. If you don't listen to the pod, then you won't receive this happy holiday as I'm recording it on Christmas. See, you do all your stuff early, then you make a little free time for yourself. They got the games on, light you want, drink you want, relax. You didn't spend all that money this week. I know a lot of y'all didn't pre-plan, but you didn't spend all that money, and then you didn't sat there and received whatever you didn't receive. And if it's great, you better be up under them people. Now, if it wasn't the best, but it was still cool, just take your little time for yourself. That's all. Go sit somewhere in the garage, in the basement. The weather been kind of good. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm surprised because it's late December and I'm looking for some snow. I'm looking for some cold weather, and it's mixy, but it's a little warm these days. And thank you. Thank you, Lord. Like I said, Jesus is the reason for the season, as we happy because of him. Santa Claus ain't changed the weather. He can't lay that sleigh down if it don't have that snow. Jesus say he performs miracles through all seasons, so keep that in mind. But as you get older, how are you going to adjust your dating life? You see a lot of these other people aren't adjusting well. Now I want to give you some free game. Fellas believe that their money allow for them to date differently, okay, ladies? Now, I know you already understand that, so I ain't telling you nothing you don't know, as you already looking at the money. The money make you look at people a little differently. The money make you like people more than maybe you would have liked them without the money, as why I've never led with my money. I want you to like me and hope that some money coming down the line, but you not there for that. See, that's how I get down, because when I hit you with the other stuff, then you like, ooh, you brought dick too? Yeah, I bought that too, and all the other good stuff I was already doing. You see how that works? Find you somebody in 2026 who want you for you, not for what you can do. Big difference. Big difference. And a lot of y'all need to get off social media because you're watching others. And the older we get, we supposed to slow down some. So I don't know how y'all keep wanting to date younger, as I thought younger people like to do more things. They got more energy. But that's how a lot of you old heads taking all that medication, taking all them pills. Nah, I hope y'all go talk to the doctor first. A lot of y'all going straight to the gas station. So not too much. I ain't had to do the gas station. Change your diet first. How about that? How about you stop drinking? How about that? And see if those things work by doing some natural adjustments. Stop trying to look for enhancements because you don't always know what you're putting in your body. Control what you can control. I ain't no doctor, so do you. Somebody else who doing them, but they daughter said, "Hey, bro, you're doing a little too much, Mr. Rick Ross." Now I don't like talking about you. I ain't gonna hold you. Since you came at my guy, I don't really, your music ain't in, everything you do ain't it. But I definitely noticed that your daughter was saying, "Hey, bro, you're a little too old to be doing the same things that she doing." See, right then and there, if my daughter ever tell me that, I'm right there where she at it, we hanging together. I'm moving like she moving, and I know I need to change how I move. But Rick Ross be dating a lot of them younger girls. See, these men in their 40s, 50s, but they dating in their 20s, 30s. I don't know how you make that make sense all the way. Again, y'all just looking at what look cute, and I get that. But if you only looking at that, you gonna be going a lot younger than that, and that's why we in some of the predicaments we in, fellas. Change how you view these women, change what you desire, and then maybe you'll change the results. But to each. Now, somebody else I want to talk about, Miss Nicki Minaj. Hey, boo, I don't think we could talk about you or talk to you or support you anymore. See, use you and whomever they need to help themselves get whatever they need. I believe everything she's doing right now is to benefit her and her family. I think there's some other things going on, and you're going to need people who can help out to make some things go away. I just really think she lost her whole fan base, though, by making these decisions. Grant you, nobody really care about what you're doing personally if you're not making no music. So I guess you're still trying to just have that engagement, as they also get paid for engagement. See, don't think celebrities not getting paid by the marketing teams as well. They also are getting endorsements. They're also getting checks from YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. They make money from their videos and their posts. So anything she posts, she making some money as she getting reaction and views. But it's time to stop supporting. It's time to let her know that she did wrong. See, I be telling my mama this all the time. She said I talk about it on the pod. Well, here you go, real early. For me, I believe there should always be consequences to people's actions. You just can't keep saying I don't like something, but keep treating them the same. So I believe we got to stop treating Nicki Minaj nicely. We have to stop paying her bills through supporting her music and whatever else she be trying to sell to us. I mean, not to me, but to y'all, so that she can really feel what she did was wrong. Because she definitely turned her back on the community that helped get her to where she's at. She know most of her people are black and brown, as she's black and brown. But that's not who you was really supporting if you aligning yourself with the current president, as well as somebody who didn't align themselves with you. Because the video of Charlie Kirk coming out saying that he did not agree and support Nicki Minaj and that she was not a great representative for black women and girls. I guess she didn't hear that before she came and sat down with his wife. So I don't know what you're doing, but we know you got ulterior motives, and at the end of the day, it's not for the betterment of those who support you. It may be just for the betterment of you. I loved what Lizzo came out and recently said, as she was stating that a lot of celebrities are going to come out and support causes like this. They're going to stand behind people who you're not going to like because they have their own agenda. And what are you going to do at the end of the day? So I love people who can challenge others publicly, directly. Again, she didn't do anything ugly, but seemed like she was honest and fair and spoke from the heart. So I appreciate that. But Nicki, you're going to have to find a way to rebuild in order to come back. Now, I do think people deserve second and third chances if they deserve it, if they earn it. But I don't think this is for her, and I think she has enough money to be able to not need to make any music anymore. But it's just sad to see people change for the wrong reasons. You just see people don't really have empathy for real. I had to really look that up again. I had to be refreshed on what empathy means. The definition of empathy says that it's the ability to understand, share, and vicariously experience another person's feelings, thoughts, and perspective. That means even though it don't affect you, can you put yourself in someone else's shoes to truly understand and to be able to give adequate grace and consideration to someone else's feelings? And so I don't think she's doing that at all. I don't think she care at all. And that's just the world we live in right now. There's so much going on. It's just not the best time, unfortunately, even though we still gotta fake the funk. We still gotta smile through all the other stuff that's going on. Again, focus on the positive, not the bad. There's always negative everywhere you look, but you can still find the positive if you want to find it. 2026, I need more people to be way more positive thinking. Stop looking at the negative results because it's going to slow you down. If you focus on what's working in your life, then it will continue to motivate you to keep working. So definitely find your way that's going to work for you. Because like I said, there's just so much going on, even within our own families. Look at that Grammy nominated opera singer. His name was Jubilant Sykes. He was stabbed and killed by his son. Son, they say, had mental issues. See, what you're learning right now, everybody who do something wrong all of a sudden got mental issues. Get out of here. I don't care. Sorry. Now, he probably has some. I'm not saying he didn't. I don't know the story. But I'm just saying we're not going to just go to that all the time. And shame on y'all who just sitting there helping those who got mental issues but not getting them the real help that they need. Some of y'all putting Band-Aids on gunshot wounds, if you know what I mean. It need more than that little Band-Aid than what you're doing. Everybody think they doing something. Everybody think they helping somebody. And you're not always doing enough if the results not changing. Yeah, my mama, she tell me all the time that people don't want to hear what you gotta say. But for me, my argument every time is you're not supposed to do it because of that reason. You're supposed to just do it, especially if you invested in that person already. If I already love and care about you, I'm obligated to speak up. That's just how I get down. All my friends and family attest. Fortunately, it pushes people away, but however, it makes them come back stronger. It's just sad sometimes to see the things that happen in each other's family. I don't be watching what other people be doing in their own families, but this stuff be hitting the news. And it just reminds me every time that money does not solve anything. Fame does not prevent anything. The more money you have, the more popularity and fame you have, usually be the more issues and drama you go through. So that's why you see me on the pod in a limited fashion. I'm not pushing more than what need to be pushed because you don't see anybody who doing well with that. Sorry. I know I look at it a little more objectively and I respect the difference, but I know I don't play the same. And I don't always talk to people I know. So I know I can't be engaging with people I don't know. A lot of the platforms I associate myself with don't even have comments available for people to respond to. That's why my stuff not blowing up the way it need to, because I keep myself limited because the world we live in is dangerous. One, I don't need it like that. So you don't need it like that. Why are you putting yourself out there like that? Again, let some things grow a little more naturally, authentically. Something else going on in the world. Rest in peace to Rob and Michelle Reiner. Rob was huge in the movie business, director, actor, things like that. He looked kind of familiar. I didn't need to go look at his discography as I'm not trying to act like I know him, but it's just sad to see somebody else who died at the hands of his own son. And they said this son had mental issues too. See, again, kids got mental issues. Are they in a psych ward? Are they at the doctor's office consistently? Or are you protecting them more than what they need? Are you sheltering your kids? See, in the world we got a lot of gentle parents. And then they be crying and sad when all that gentle parenting leads to their kids making some not the best decisions. Again, I believe parenting does everything. That's why I need the parents to go to jail too when kids are doing wrong. I need you to get a little time. I don't need no slap on the wrist. Your kid go to jail, you go to jail too. I need some other parents to know, ooh, I see what's capable. I need us to tighten up. that's how that go. Also, if we just remove guns, we might solve some of these problems as well. But the sons in some of these killings use knives to kill their parents. And that's a little bit more vicious. Again, it sounds like mental issues, but if you got a mental issue in my family, you won't be staying with me. See how that works? I'm going to get you help. I'm going to put you in a home somewhere. I'm going to come visit. You know, if you got mental issues and you're part of my family, guess what? You can't stay with me. I don't trust you. I don't trust the people who don't have mental issues. I see too much going on in the world and I'm just not taking chances. And I want you to get real help. Why people think that they could help everybody and they ain't got no school and no teachings. You know, they think they could spend a few dollars or they didn't watch enough TV and they could give some advice. But they think that count for everything. It don't. That's not the end all be all. Sometimes you need real expert opinions. You need to go get real help. And again, if people really had mental health issues, in my opinion, you shouldn't be staying at home unsupervised by some people not properly trained. I don't care if that's your own parents, as you see what's going on in the world. Again, wouldn't happen to me. I don't know if it's going to happen to you, but just know. But the world is coming to an end. I feel it. Something happening big real soon. More big, like not just this regular big stuff, because it's just too frequent. Too much evil right now. You know, I need the Noah I know or the Noah in the Bible to go create an ark and go obtain all the animals and a few people to make sure we don't lose nothing and prepare us for the future, because something about to happen soon. I don't know what. Just know you heard it here first, because a lot more evil going on. A lot more evil going on in the world. And again, things always happen, but it ain't slowing down, is all I'm saying. Look at the situation in Australia. Guy just happened to come out there, supposedly linked to a terrorist group. All of a sudden just start shooting and killing random people. Again, everybody want to say mental issues. I mean, maybe. If that's the case, we all got a little mental something. You know what I mean? Like everybody got levels, you know, so everybody not at a 10. But everybody going through some things in life. So you got to be good to others, because you don't know who you around. You don't know what people could do. And they might be people you already know. So make sure that they not looking at you in a negative way, so that they don't turn some of that negative energy towards you. Again, I don't know what kind of plan this guy had, but I'm glad they was able to eventually apprehend him. But if it was a black guy, he would have been shot. So not too much. But also, you saw that 19-year-old in Brazil. Again, more mental health issues. Again, people need to be in the church. To me, I'm sorry. Church solves all kind of things. You don't even know about. The spirit comes within, and you ain't even had to do nothing. Just show up, participate, and watch some of the blessings that start to come towards you. That's just how it kind of works. You do good, you be there for others, and God gonna be there for you. But God wasn't with this 19-year-old. And whoever brought this 19-year-old to the zoo did not protect him. Everybody pulled out their camera and watched this 19-year-old boy jump into the enclosure where there was nothing but lions. And a lion came and ate his little ass up real quick. Now, you see, they be protecting animals out here, because some people be ready to take down them lions and them animals when they harm humans. But you got to realize that animals are animals and humans are humans, and we not supposed to be merging like that. And unfortunately, what you expected that animal to do when you went to their home. You come knock on my door, you don't know what you're going to get, but it's my door. See how that works? When I come to your house, I come respectfully. I come knocking on the door. I come asking for permission. I just don't come including myself, because it's not my house. So respect other people's homes out here, or some things may happen. But condolences to everybody who losing their lives during this time. Tomorrow's not promised. Again, be good to others while they still here. Also, try to be more helpful in a real way. Stop trying to care about all that material things. Stop trying to always socialize and go out. People really need help. And if you paid a little more time and attention to what people going through, you might could really be there for somebody and prevent certain things. They say suicide is high right now, especially during the holidays. Everybody can't bear it. Again, it's not a lot you can do about that. But to me, I believe a lot of people feel like they are on their own. They don't feel like they have the help that they wish they had. I don't know. You got to try to support others. Everybody won't be sad when something happened, but nobody wanted to do nothing when they were still here. That's just my opinion. Also, more animal news. There was this raccoon in Wisconsin. See, me, I only be reporting on the things that I feel like places I've been to or places I want to go to that catch my attention. And I want to go to Brazil. I want to go to Australia. Them places on the list when things calm down. But I'm definitely going very soon. And I just left Wisconsin where this raccoon actually came out the ceiling at a place they say was a fine dining restaurant. Now, I don't agree. I don't know, but I don't agree. But anything can happen anywhere. Now, supposedly this raccoon fell out the ceiling and they had this customer who was eating who tried to pick up and capture the raccoon. I'm guessing with its bare hands. Now, the raccoon bit the customer. Now, I know the customer don't look like me. I ain't gonna hold you. We don't have familiarity with raccoons. Now, I know some people who eat coon, but we ain't trying to hold and touch and capture with our hands no raccoon. Again, stay in your lane. And one, I was in Wisconsin and it wasn't that many of us, so I know it wasn't somebody look like me. But people gonna do their thing. I just hope they got their shots afterwards because I think raccoons carry rabies, if that's still real. But get that rabies shot, but also get that flu shot. I know a lot of people don't want to get them shots, but y'all won't keep getting sick. I don't know. Y'all be funny to me. Everybody want to keep going through something, but don't want to make no adjustment. See people not living long. See people always sickly. See people health ain't right based on all the things they putting in their body. But everybody just want to keep following the trend. I don't know. I think everybody need to tighten up. I think people need to start saving a few dollars. I think people need to be the healthiest they've ever been. Now, don't get me wrong. I think we way more healthier than our parents were. I think we care about it. I think we understand things a lot better. However, I think the food isn't as good as it used to be. I don't think it's as fresh and natural as it used to be. Come with way more chemicals these days. So you got to be extra careful with what you eat and what you're putting in your body. And a lot of people not careful at all, as you don't know the ingredients they really using at the restaurants you be eating at, as no one likes to cook food at their own house anymore. But you see, that's what we doing in 2026. If I could truly not eat out for a whole year, I really would. Like, that's how I'm really feeling these days. If I could truly choose to never go out this upcoming year, and I can technically, but we're going to be honest with ourselves. We know there's always an exception to the rule. Sometimes you're traveling, sometimes you're away from your home, and you don't have other options, and you have to find something to eat. But for me, I just try to make sure that if I'm going to be home, if I'm going to be in town, let me just be proactive and plan out my meals. And in 2026, we are meal prepping more than ever. See, I don't even come from eating a lot of leftovers like that, but I'm going to fix that for myself. I want the convenience a little bit more. I want to be more efficient with my time. And nobody got time to be slaving over no meals. But you still got to eat that good quality, that freshness at home. So I'm going to offset some things, and I'm just going to be more proactive with my planning of my meals. That's how I'm bringing in 2026. And I think it will be more beneficial to my diet and to how health conscious I've been lately. Because like I keep saying, the world is coming to an end, or maybe it just don't look good right now. So much just is happening, and you just see people out here just living a little too much, in my opinion. People out here too free, thinking there's no consequences to their actions. Look at one of the creators of Call of Duty. He out on a nice day driving this beautiful Ferrari. And of course, you don't get a Ferrari if you don't want to drive a little fast from time to time. But he could not control his car, as it looked like he was trying to turn quickly and the car lost control and he died. It's sad. I'm not trying to go out like that. I'm not trying to go out with a bang, enjoying living life all fast and furious, and then something happened. Rest in peace to Mr. Paul Walker, as he had a similar situation. Again, both of those experiences, those people come from fast cars, the environment of fast cars, as they also have their own fast cars. But guess what? You can't always control things. Guess what? These things are still man-made. Nothing is impossible. So you always gotta be prepared. Take your time a little bit more. Ask yourself, is it really worth it? There's accidents on the track in NASCAR. and they're driving extremely fast. So you know, in a controlled environment, if it can happen there, it definitely can happen when other people who aren't like-minded are doing these type of things. But when it's your time, it's your time. See, that's what you're learning. You don't know how you gonna go out, so you better be good to others. But guess what? It's coming, and it's coming for all of us. See, I'm scared. I ain't gonna hold you. See, I be moving like I'm scared, though. Not I'm scared to die per se. I just want to keep living. That's more so what it is. And I'm not thinking about death no time soon. You know, I don't care how old I will get. I will maximize whatever I got, as you don't know when that time is coming. So why would I give it any thought like I can prepare myself? I can't. It is what it is. But condolences to their families, loved ones, people who cared about, everyone who lost their lives recently in all the different situations that I've mentioned earlier. Now, I also saw this intriguing story that hit my timeline where some police officers pulled up on this lady, this white lady, and she was outside with her dog and her friend, and they was there to arrest her. And she was very caught off guard, very confused. Even her neighbor was very confused. They had to tell the neighbor, get out the way, get out people's business, go on home. But at the end of the day, what you learn is that this lady kidnapped her own child 40 years ago. And they eventually found her through some anonymous tips and some other little tips they said they had. But they eventually located this lady who was remarried to a black man at that. So again, fellas, be careful. Be extra careful. But she definitely remarried. But now her daughter was 43 and living on her own, doing her own thing. And I guess the mama thought everything was over with, as she told them they was moving from Kentucky to Georgia for her new job. And he came about a couple days later. And when he got there, his family was no longer there. He couldn't find her. And since then, he hadn't heard from her. I said, well, damn. Now, some of y'all going to find that as a blessing, because nobody was sending any bills to you. You wasn't having to pay for any kids that you ain't had no more. So it was a fresh start, I suppose. But this not how this guy saw this. He was still searching for his daughter, mainly because he only had 3 years with her. And I don't know too much about what happened, but they definitely arrested this lady. The daughter was able to reconcile and rekindle and meet up with the dad. But to me, I am not surprised, because women believe that they have final say when it comes to the kid. They get to make the decisions, even though they might allow you to be included. But because they carried them kids, because they feel like they the predominant parent, they feel like they do majority of the work, is not equal. They get to dominate and stand strong in the decisions that are made for them. But a lot of times you see sometimes those decisions aren't always as favorable to all. And sometimes these decisions are selfish, just like this situation. This lady thought she could make that decision and do what she wanted, how she wanted. She ain't try to go about it the right way. She ain't try to go get help, try to tell a man she was unhappy. She just left because she felt like she could. Just sad. Now, I don't know what kind of time she gonna get or what happens. It's 40 years old, but it's just super sad to see how things be happening in the world, but things really do be happening. And it's just what make the news. What about the stories that don't? Please be careful. Please continue to put your faith in the Lord, because you're not going to be able to do all the checks and balances you think you're going to be able to do. You're going to have some trust. You're going to have to trust that you made some good decisions. See, a lot of people, to me, who always need to validate some things, didn't do the validation before they made the decision. Didn't do all the research. Didn't do all the checks and balancing before they chose who they wanted to be around. And then when they got with the person, they didn't like some things, and now they unhappy. And if you check and go through a trial and error process before making long-term commitments, like having kids, ladies, it's okay to say no. Again, sex don't mean have kids. I know y'all think every time it mean a kid gotta come. No, it don't. Okay, we could just be having, intercourse, okay? The kids don't have to be the result all the time, even though that's how you have kids. I'm just saying, make sure that you're ready for the kid first. Make sure that your partner is ready for the kid first, is all I'm saying. A lot of people not doing their due diligence. But also, that lady didn't have any empathy for her husband at the time. She didn't care nothing about that man. Now, maybe he did some things we don't know about. But either way, two wrongs don't make a right. And She didn't care. She did what she felt she wanted to do for herself and her daughter. Now, it's his daughter too, but she made all the decisions, the executive decisions. See how they go? Again, not fair, but she got to live with the consequences at the end of the day. Now, somebody else I know who don't have empathy, Mr. President. I don't even like saying your name like that because you're just not good, okay? You're not good to others. You don't care about others. You're not trying to be as helpful as you think you are. And I really think you're not being helpful at all. So we're not talking about that part. We talking about the little bit you think you're doing. You're not really doing, is all I'm saying. You manipulating and using people. And another way you constantly showing no empathy. You about to start making everybody pay their loans back. See, for everybody who thought they could be in those deferment type loans, be in those interest only type student loans, be in forbearance status forever. Guess what? Trump said, nah, bro, we need you to go ahead and start making some payments. Trump right now trying to fix something. Now, again, I don't like how he going about things, but he definitely sees some stuff is not working the way it's supposed to. So again, you can see the good and the bad. At least I can. I see there is a need for change. However, I just wish he would go about it a little differently. Again, we still gonna get that change, so we're gonna speed up the process, and a lot of people gonna be affected if you weren't doing what was right. And to some degree, if you were doing right, you might be able to find a little loophole. But he really don't even have empathy for those who be supporting him, because you see that every time they're not supporting him anymore or don't do what he wants, then all of a sudden they're no good to them. But you see that happen with everyone in the world, not just him. The moment you don't do something somebody like, they forget all the good you never did for them. They don't even know how to look past some of the things. Not that they do good in everything that they do to you, but that is the standard that they're holding you to. Now, I don't know what standard Trump has in terms of allowing all these ships to enter the U.S. territory, as these boats been getting blown up very frequently. And he don't care how many people on these boats. He don't care if these boats stay on fire and the remains just float away in the river or the ocean. But your president don't care about allowing anybody to come through illegally. So tell all your friends who not here right to be careful. But your president be moving like Mike from Mayor of Kingstown for real. He think he could go and negotiate and talk to anybody who don't do right. He talked to Al Qaeda. He talked to Russia. He talked to anybody. He say he could stand in any area like Mike and go and negotiate and figure it out. He neutral. He just looking out for the community. Well, I think your president's community is himself, okay? I just think that's who he protecting. He making sure them Epstein files don't say what they could say, for sure. Again, they were supposed to release all this, and then all of a sudden everything been redacted. I don't know. Y'all playing different games out here. But why are we giving it any attention? He looking for this to go away so y'all can leave him alone. But I think y'all need to keep bothering him. He only been in office for less than a year, so can't make it be easy or smooth. But he making a way. I ain't gonna hold you. He gonna do his foe. It's looking like he gonna be there for his foe, and I hope that's all he gonna get. I really hope there's no way he gonna be able to get any type of extension. But I'm really nervous about how 2026 is gonna be. But I need everybody to be more prepared, because he not playing fair and he not looking out for your best interest. But Mike from Mayor of Kingstown been doing this thing. This season been the best season ever. So definitely check out Mayor of Kingstown if you haven't checked. But Mike got his brother in jail, and oh boy, the last episode's been fire. See that situation with his wife? I mean, I ain't think it was gonna go down like that, but I like it. I like good TV watching. I ain't gonna hold you. And I love that they didn't show me the results. You heard a few things, but you ain't see nothing. I don't want to see. I don't really want to hear, but I definitely don't want to see. But I love what's going on. I love the action. I love the storylines. I love all the involvement from everybody. And for some reason, I do be a little intrigued by different things that go on in the jail, even though I don't be in there like that. But I definitely like seeing shows that incorporate some of those storylines. You know, you learn a lot, and it don't be sounding too good. So keep that in mind. It should keep you living a straight and narrow life a little bit more than not. But I think Mike's brother bought some of that upon himself, because you go talking crazy to somebody, they might do something crazy back to you. See, I don't be trying to talk too crazy. I be trying to talk with grace, even though people think I talk crazy. So I don't know. I really do be giving grace as there's levels to the crazy talk, but you see, Mike brother definitely had to understand and learn. So I'm hoping that he's gonna find a way to get his get back, cause he out of jail now. Oh, buddy, we about to see how this season is going to end real soon. I think they only got about 1 or 2 more episodes left. And like I said, every episode this season been great. Something else that been great, Boston Blue. I already told y'all about that. It is a spinoff of Blue Bloods. If you like Blue Bloods, great. But I definitely want to shout out the oldest son who used to star on Blackish. He is in Boston Blue and he doing his thing. A different role for him, but you can see similarities. But I love the growth. And again, I love this storyline. And that last episode was fire. Again, Boston Blue. You should just go catch up on Blue Bloods and then transition to Boston Blue. Only 1 season, but I'm pretty sure it's going to get renewed and have some longevity because this rolling right here. We got some black people, nice diversity, but I'm loving this show a lot. I don't like waiting week to week to watch episodes. I like to binge watch, but when you find quality, you don't mind sometimes. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to keep up with this because I'm kind of hooked a little bit. Something else that I gave a chance to, but I struggled to get into it in the beginning. The Morning Show. Got a lot of good recommendations about it, but it started off super slow to me. I couldn't really get into it until late in the season. See, when Steve Carell was talking to that lady, Hannah, telling her about herself a little bit, telling her that, hey, bro, you got the way you be getting other people, so don't worry about it. Like, I like some of that reality talk to her a little bit. And it opened our eyes to some things, although we need to find out if she killed herself or if somebody else did some things. But they thought maybe he might have did some things, and nah, Mitch ain't here no more. So I didn't really like season 2, but it's been something to watch, and season 3's cool. Sidebar. Y'all saw Portia? She gay now? Nah, look, I ain't talking about the community like that. LGBTQ. I love y'all. I don't love y'all like Portia love y'all now, but I ain't got no ill will toward nobody. But I'm very surprised, boo. And to some degree, ladies, I'm talking to y'all real quick. This sends some mixed messages. I couldn't be president because she had to pay back some of that money that she just got when she was married to a man. Because it'll look like a scheme, a scam, a little bit. Look like women not really there for the right reasons. If all of a sudden you could then go be with another woman after benefiting from a man. I don't know, but it's a dangerous game some people be playing. Again, respect those who out here playing it, but y'all gonna have to suffer the consequences if you're not being good to others. I don't care who you having to be good to. Just know, male or female, if you're not treating people right, it's gonna come back to you one way or another. God watching, and he know all things. He know what's really going on, even if you're not saying something. So definitely keep that in mind, and he gonna make sure you held accountable, whether you like it or not. Now, somebody else who being held accountable a little bit more than what they would like, the son in Landman. Now, I don't know his real name, but I love Landman. I was a little late, and again, this for B Terry. It's not better than Tulsa King, as I'm waiting on you to go and check out that recommendation. But Landman, real good. I ain't gonna hold you. Real good. Season 2 rolling. Right now, all my shows still coming out. I got new episodes coming out weekly during this holiday time. It's been great. And the show's been great too. So I hope y'all watching multiple things, but definitely check out Landman. Landman is one of the best shows out right now. Very popular, but it has great quality. And I love how they gave a little more attention to the son, and then they now incorporating the grandpa a little bit more. We had to get away from the ex-wife and the daughter. Just a little bit. Just a little bit, fellas. Like, they were doing a little too much. They be making you mad the way they be moving. They don't care about much. They definitely don't care about $1. And they're not trying to get no real job. So I'm just saying, they trying to be leeches off of somebody or anybody who willing to pay for some things. And I'm not saying that's everybody, but I am saying they got a few people who like that in the world. So definitely be careful. Now, I think they probably got some men like that too, ladies. I don't know. I don't know if we all the way have transformed and merged over like that. Nothing wrong with dating somebody make more than you, fella. But don't treat them like that, as you wouldn't like it when it was done to you. Now, something else I told y'all I don't like when it's done to me. I don't like when seasons come out, but they like to drag out their season. I don't like that. Don't give me a few episodes, then take a break, then give me a few more episodes. But y'all like Stranger Things. Stranger Things say this is it. No more. It's the last year, and we're going to drag it out to the very last day of the year, because they just came out with part 2 that I haven't checked out yet. I'll eventually get to it. But they still holding on to the very last finale episode that's supposed to come, I think, on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. So I don't know why y'all doing this, but y'all trying to milk everything. Hey, Netflix, I get it. Y'all finally bought Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers rejected Paramount, and that seemed like y'all are able to make the purchase. So y'all doing big things, bro. I get it. I love what y'all doing. I love the money y'all giving out. We see you keep giving money to Dave Chappelle, as he just came out with a new special unexpectedly. And, Dave gonna be Dave. Now, I'm not sure if this was one of the better comedy specials he's made, as I wasn't a fan of all the hecklers and all the extra commentary from the audience. I didn't like the security guard walkie-talkie talking and stuff like that. I like quality, and that didn't seem as quality. But I like Dave Chappelle, and he gave some great jokes. He know how to tell a good story. He know how to bring everything home. He know how to put everything together. So he always talking about some things that's meaningful. He talked about the Charlie Kirk situation. He talked about his stand-up when he was out there in Dubai. Again, he said freedom of speech ain't freedom of speech everywhere. He said he get more ridicule in the States than he was getting in Dubai. Although Dubai also told him it was a few things he couldn't say, but one thing he could talk about was the LGBTQ community. And he said he got all them jokes off, and he got paid very well. So I don't know, y'all. People don't mean you well, for real. People laughing at you more than they trying to help you out. So keep your business to yourself, and then you ain't got to worry about nobody talking about you. You ain't got to worry about the negative stuff coming out, or people only wanting to focus on the negative. Because again, you do good too, but nobody care about that part. They only want to focus on what you're not doing well. Now, Netflix, we also see y'all just had another fight. Y'all had that Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. Now, Jake, you knew you wasn't a real boxer, and you was doing all right fighting people who also weren't real boxers. Jake, you were making good money fighting people who weren't that good. Fighting a lot of amateurs just like yourself. But you was a little too confident in your skill set. You was already buying gifts for yourself before the fight. You showed the new cars you had. I get it. You made big money. However, you also got your jaw broke. I ain't gonna hold you. And why was this even classified as a real fight? Because this was only 8 rounds, although it only made it to 6. Now, Joshua, you wasn't looking the best, bruh. I ain't gonna hold you. Now, it wasn't until maybe the last 2 rounds that you started to do all right, and then you got the knockout. But them first couple, I'm not saying you was losing, but you just wasn't looking like a pro boxer fighting an amateur, is all I'm saying. And I know I heard your speech after you finished the fight, after you knocked him out, you're calling out Tyson Fury. We get it. You want to check. We get it. There's some history. He was talking about you too. So I understand y'all want to hype some things up, see if y'all can build some buzz. Maybe Netflix wants y'all to come fight on their platform again. But I don't think you did anything really well in this fight to start calling out real boxers, is all I'm saying. Your last few fights against real boxers didn't look that good, bro. I just want, I want to throw that out there. You was the man at one point, and then Ruiz knocked you out. He was big and fat, overweight. This is before he had lost the weight. So I don't know, bro, if you overstepping a little bit. You're doing a little bit too much more than what you could kind of handle. But hey, I love the way boxers don't have the same fear as us regular folk. You have to know in the sport of boxing, in any combat sport really, that there's a possibility for one, you to get hit, but then 2, for you to get hurt. And so you sign up for that every time you show up. And if I knew I might get hurt every time I showed up, I wouldn't be showing up. So I commend all of y'all. I would be like Bud Crawford right now, retiring. Shout out to him. Undefeated. If I got undefeated, and I wouldn't have waited till I got to 42-0, but I would have gotten to about 20-0 and quit. Went out on top. That's all I would have did, but they wasn't making the kind of money he just made on this last fight. See, if he was making the regular kind of money, he would still have to keep fighting. It's all about the money. But he made a really good payday. He probably also bet on himself, as I believe boxers can bet on themselves. So you put those two together, he might have really did some things. He might have really prepared his life for the future. I like that he's leaving the game early while he still has some sense in his mind, because you see all this CTE, and boxers are purposely getting hit in the head. Like, it's not an accident like in football. They're definitely CTE in boxing. So I'm happy that while he still is healthy, at least for now, as he hasn't really been knocked out, he hasn't lost a fight. So why not go out on top, especially if you have enough money? So I appreciate that. Moving on to some other people who should be congratulated a little bit. The New York Knickerbockers. Hey, look, y'all. I'm not the biggest fan of the Knicks, although they have a long history of not winning. So when they finally win something, we need to celebrate a little bit, bro. Not all the way. They're not the Lakers. LeBron don't play for them, so we ain't doing too much. But shout out to y'all. Y'all beat the Spurs, and I wasn't expecting y'all to beat the Spurs. Y'all shouldn't have beat them in the championship game, but y'all was very consistent in the playoffs, or the in-season playoffs, I should say. And I'm happy y'all won. I'm happy OKC didn't win per se, just because they've been dominating. They have been doing their thing. They have been rolling, and then they met the Spurs. They met Big Wemby, okay, the alien, who came in and was unstoppable. They don't really know what to do with him. And then they play again a couple days after that, and the Spurs beat them again. So we gonna see what's about to happen, as they also play on Christmas. So I don't know if the Spurs can beat OKC 3 times, but I will say that if they lose again, OKC gonna make some changes. Now, it's weird because they've only lost maybe 4 games all season, and they're the number 1 team in the league. They're the defending champs. But you see that you have a little kryptonite in your armor. You may need to be proactive in trying to work on fixing some things, because you don't want to be beating everybody else, and then if you get matched up against a team you can't beat, it's not going to be a good look. So keep that in mind. Now, I mentioned my Lakers, and we were doing pretty good at first, and then LeBron came, and we changed some energy, and I don't think it's his fault, but we have to adjust the plan with the GOAT. And it has slowed us down a little bit. We have had to rest some people. We've had a few injuries, and we just ain't winning as many games as we should, okay? So we're going to have to make an adjustment. You heard it first here. I don't like everything we doing, and we need some help. We're not built to win a championship yet. Now, I want to give y'all some insight. I believe we're going to trade for Draymond Green. We tried to trade for him before, and it didn't work. I'm hoping we could try to trade for him now. Golden State need some help. The Lakers need some help, and they tired of dealing with Draymond. As you see what just happened recently. Now, Steve Kerr came and admitted some things. Again, just because you don't like that somebody did something to you, don't mean you ain't contribute to the situation. Don't mean you ain't part of the problem too. Everybody thinks somebody else doing something, and they ain't doing nothing to help or hurt the situation as well. And maybe you didn't cause the situation, but are you helping? Are you contributing to it getting better? And Kerr/Draymond didn't do either. And they was doing this publicly in front of the rest of the team. Now, they always say that if you can't control yourself, you need to remove yourself. And I kind of like some of that, although I don't know how to do that very well. I don't know how to remove myself as much. Although I have been trying to work on truly removing myself from situations that aren't working well. I am truly working on avoiding things. I am truly working on moving around some things. That is not normally my setup. That is not normally how I like to solve things. However, what I usually do is not working all the time to my liking. Again, I hold myself very accountable, as I am the common denominator. See, a lot of y'all don't like to look in the mirror, but I be looking. You got to know how you look. You got to know how you look to others. because you're being perceived, you're being judged. So you better make sure that you like how you're being looked at, because everybody not telling you things. They showing you some things, but they ain't telling you as much as they showing you. A lot of people be avoiding you, not wanting to be around you, but don't want to tell you what you did to them to make them feel that way. Draymond, Golden State, Steph Curry, Steve Kerr. It's time for some change now. I think you could remove the coach, but he helped win all the championships. So how you gonna remove the coach? Where he gonna go? Now I think he gonna get another job somewhere, but I'm just saying, where he gonna go? What's gonna happen? Or if they really like the coach, and sometimes they don't pick the brother. So sometimes the brother get the short end of the stick, and maybe it's time to remove Draymond. Now I think people are just tired of Draymond. I think just that energy is overwhelming. I think he can't control himself very well. I also think he's not trying. See, I think some of that comes with that. Everybody think, oh, something just be happening. But you have a responsibility to try. And when you're not trying, you're going to be held to not trying. At least if you mess around with me. But hey, Lakers, I think we can utilize Draymond on our team. I think he'll be a great asset. And I think he'll be respectful, as I think he understands Luka. I think he understands LeBron, as they have relationship already. Like, they're going to be tons of respect. And I think he'll be a great asset to the team in many ways, with leadership as well as defense. Now, I had some great leadership skills this year myself. One of my fantasy teams made the championship game, and this week is the finals. I'm hoping to win, as I already spent the money. So if I don't win, we gonna figure it out. But that money's spent already. It wasn't that much, but it's definitely already spent. I already told Jamie he could already send me my money. But I did great in a few of my leagues, but this one, we really was rolling more consistently than some of the others. And the results are showing. Because I was close in a few, but I didn't get over the hump. But this one, we dominated. And we looking to dominate again in the championship game, but you never know what's going to happen. They got NFL games coming on today, so we got to be careful. We hoping and we wishing for some good luck for our players a little bit. Now, you see what them Saints doing. Now, all year I told myself not to draft any of them Saints players, as I knew we wasn't going to do well. But my tight end got hurt, and now he going to the injured reserve for the last game of the season. And I took a chance and drafted Taysom Hill. I think it's going to be a steal. I think it's going to give me what I need. And he did very well last week, as he broke some records. But I'm hoping to go out on top this year. Your boy be nice. I ain't gonna hold you. Your boy got skills in many departments. Check your boy out. Now, look, Saints, we only got 2 more games left, bro. And we seem like we didn't find the quarterback, as I already told y'all, that Tyler Show. I like your boy. He be doing the beanie weenie, and he be trying to dance. He ain't got no rhythm, though. So don't look for too much from him, but I like what he doing on the field, okay? And he not just a decent thrower of the ball. He got some speed. He got some aggression. You're not expecting him to run with that type of toughness. And he scored a lot of rushing touchdowns thus far. That has helped us win, because we're not playing with a lot of our key people. So he doing a lot of things on his own or with limited help. But I like what my Saints are doing. And like I told y'all, we don't need Arch Manning. And they waited to see if we were going to have somebody, as Arch Manning said he not coming out this year. We knew that. He ain't do good. See, he don't want to be set up like Shador, even though he white, so they wasn't going to do him like that. But he want to go number 1. He want to go top 3, top 5, top 10. He don't want to be late in the round, second, third round. And what he's done thus far in the league has not been enough. He had all this hype coming out of high school, mainly because of who his family is. And I get it. He's not that bad. But he's only been a starter in college for 1 year. So he needs some more time. And he don't need the money. So there's really no rush to get to the league yet. You come from good people. Keep working on your craft so that when you finally get in, you can do some things. But I'm not here to try to help out Archman. I just didn't want him on my team. That was it. At least not next year for sure. I want us to look elsewhere. I need us to find other pieces, because we would have invested too much in replacing a quarterback, and then we still don't have any pieces in the other areas. So I love that we kind of found the quarterback through the draft. unexpectedly, and we can build around that. And he's going to be more appreciative of the money we eventually give him. See, we ain't going to have to pay him top dollar unless he win a championship next year. Then give him whatever you want. But we going to have to give him just a few dollars because he didn't come out with that type of hype. So thank you, Saints, for being somewhat open, even though we know you wasn't that open, as if you were, you would have drafted Shador. Now, the college playoffs started last week, and they had some great games. My school, Tulane, finally made it, even though I didn't think they was going to get all the way in as 11 seed, but I was thinking they would have done better against Ole Miss than what they showed. Now, Ole Miss lose their coach, and I guess they was extra inspired, but you learn, unfortunately, that there's different talent in different conferences, and the conference Tulane is in, I believe, is Conference USA, is not as equal to the SEC, and it showed. See, they're going to start putting those teams that don't go all the way undefeated if they don't come with a big name or if they're not from the SEC. So this was a chance this year that they gave a few schools, James Madison, as well as Tulane, in my opinion. But you see how they did, which was not good. Them games was not good to watch. So I don't believe they're going to continue doing that. So like I've shared, there's a lot of sports that's been coming on, and there's a lot that's wrapping up. College football has a few more weeks left before we figure out the playoffs and who's going to eventually win. I believe Indiana's going to win. I don't know. I'm just going to pick Indiana. I have some family who's in Indiana now, and so I want to support who I have some connections with. And since Tulane got knocked out, I don't have nobody else to root for. So I like Indiana. I like the underdog, and they didn't already beat Ohio State. So I'm hoping that they're going to be able to make some noise and be a little more of an underdog a little bit, as people didn't expect them to do well this season. But hey, fellas, they got a lot you can watch. Hopefully the ladies like to watch too. Some ladies like to just kind of pick and choose a little bit more. They're not all the way up to date. My sister say, who performing on Netflix today? Again, the ladies don't really care who playing. They don't really care who gonna win. They looking at if they look cute. They looking at the environment. They looking at the halftime performances, okay? So definitely know that if you got a crew you're watching the games with, adjust your environment. And they say Snoop Dogg's supposed to be performing. So like I said, Netflix be spending a lot of money to get more ratings, to get more people to support their platform. And they love what they're doing in terms of the live viewership. See, they're moving in a lot of different departments, a lot of different areas, and you have to see the trends. It's about to be a monopoly. It's about to be a takeover. And Netflix is running everything right now. So be aware, maybe even invest if the stock price is super low. But hope everybody had a happy holidays. Hope everybody found a way to enjoy themselves, even if you had to treat yourself. If your day didn't go that well, get out. Go be around someone else. Go be by yourself for a little bit. Find a way to work on how you can be in charge of your own happiness, as no one else should be responsible for making you happy.
I can't do it, then it ain't real. I just make dollars, I don't make deals. I've been going hard in the paint, still blowing kush clouds till I can't feel like. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like. 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like. 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right?